Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. This is the midday edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tudo Hoyane. Yes, let us take the Senzomeyiwa issue further. Remember in the morning I said, or in my earlier edition, I said to you that we are going to run a parallel investigation here. And I styled that docket 0001, 000. How can I forget my own docket? It's 000, docket 000. So docket 000 is going to be a parallel investigation that runs along the side of, we have 375, we have 636. 000 stands on its own. It is the people's docket. It is the people's investigation. What is the title of 000? The people of South Africa versus Khumalo and others. That is how I've styled it. Docket 000, the people of South Africa versus Khumalo and others. Now, how do you build up a docket? How do you build up an investigation? Let me begin there. You begin an investigation by first of all compiling a docket. A docket is made up of police statements usually. The police will undertake investigations at the scene and collect all relevant, evidence pertaining to the commission of a particular crime under investigation. Once that process is complete, the docket will then be handed to the prosecutors, and the prosecutors will have to make a decision. In other words, the prosecutors will then peruse the docket and see what sort of charge the statements disclose. In other words, they look through the statement and say, let us say it's a matter investigation. There must be witnesses in there. Those statements are made by real people, witnesses, who will actually give evidence that such and such a matter occurred. Now, in the sense of Meyiwa, in the people of South Africa, docket 000, we don't have the police, we don't have the resources of the state. We don't have the police investigating it. All we have is the goodwill of the people that are around us. Now, how are we going to begin this process? We are beginning to begin this process by enlisting all the people of goodwill in this country. Anybody who has information of any sort, who is at the end of the day prepared to state that information that he or she has under oath in a court of law, and I want to underline that. So we are not going to have any anonymous tip-offs here, because anonymous tip-offs can never be followed up. People who give anonymous tip-offs who are never willing to stand up in a court of law and say, I saw this and this and this and that. So they are of no value to us. We want men and women of substance, people who stand up and say, this is what I know, and come and be prepared in the long run, because that is where we are going in the long run. And be prepared to stand before a court of law, take an oath and say, I swear that what I say is the honest truth, nothing else but the truth, so help me God. Those are the sort of people I want to enlist. Not people who are scared, who will tell me that they are scared, they know something, but they are scared. You see, I said, if you are scared, you are already dead. Because if all of us were to be scared, if all of us had been afraid of apartheid would never have ended. Nelson Mandela was as scared of apartheid as you and me. But he took a stand and said, I am going to put my life on the line, on the block, my head on the block. So be it. That is why at the Rivonia trial in 1964, in his famous, I am prepared to die speech, he told the judge face to face that I am prepared to die for what I believe in. These are the sort of people that I'm looking for. Now, my first port of call has been former police officer Tlhabadima. Tlhabadima is a former police constable. He was involved in the investigation. Thank God we have somebody like Tlhabadima. you know, investigation 000 is going to get off the ground from there. Kabadima is going to provide me with all the evidence that he knows, that he personally knows. He has personal knowledge of that. In other words, he is not relying on hearsay or conjecture or anything. Everything that he knows about what happened to Senzo Meyo on that fateful day. And he's going to come forward and give me that information, and I'm going to follow up that information. He may not be the only one. How many of them are out there who are prepared like him to come forward and say, this is what happened? This is done, this is an exercise done only in the interest of justice. Remember, there's no criminality involved here. Everything is above board. Everything is lawful. We are playing by the book. I'm not interested in anything that smacks of criminality. So this is the starting point. So we'll collect all the relevant information wherever you can get it and bring it to you, so that as we go along, you can have a full picture of what really transpired in that house on that day. Having said that, let me thank you once more for the views and subscriptions that I'm seeing. My previous video ended abruptly, and I'm sorry for that. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.